is in discovering. Now, this is a special word, discovering. We oftentimes say discover, and we say it really fast, right? But I want you to slow down for a moment and think about discover. Dis meaning not, cover meaning conceal. So the prefix dis means not, cover means conceal. So now what we are doing as parents, we are on a journey to no longer conceal what is there within our child. It's an adventure. See, sometimes we can get overwhelmed in this parenting world and think, what I don't know this, I don't know that. What if I make mistakes? No. Slow down. This is an adventure to discover. Now, if we're going to discover something, this is what I would ask you to approach it in a brand new way. Many of us, we may have seen the movies like Indiana Jones or National Treasure or Dora the Explorer, for that matter, where they know they're on an adventure to find something. Okay. So when you're on an adventure to find something, to dis, meaning not, cover, meaning conceal, the one thing we want to do is we want to start off with a belief that there is something to find. So when we start off on this adventure, we're going to start off believing that there's something to find. So we have an idea, we have a dream, we have a thought. So let's just take this as a dream. So we're going to start off with this dream. Oh my goodness, I have a dream. And this dream, at the end of this dream, there's a treasure to be found. See, I believe, and hopefully you believe the same thing. And if you don't, just borrow some of my belief, borrow some of Karen's belief, because we believe this. There is a treasure inside of your child. Okay. So we believe that. That's how we start the adventure. Karen, in her heart, in her mind, in her soul, she is 100% convinced there is a treasure to be found, to be dis, meaning not, cover, meaning concealed. There is a treasure to be no longer concealed within your child. And so with that state of mind, just like these watermelon seeds, even though we begin and it's so small, the journey begins with a belief that can be so small. What happens is, in the process of discovering, see, let me just show you. Hopefully you can see this. This seed, you know what this seed has in it? Let me just have it take a little guess. Like, okay, Brian said it's a watermelon seed. What does it have within it? Brian, duh, it has watermelons within it. Close. This one watermelon seed has endless potential of watermelon. See, now let's back this up and let's look at our child. When you look at your child, does your child only have a little bit of potential? No, your child has endless potential. Does your child only have a little bit of genius? No, your child has endless genius. How do I know this? Because inside of the seed of something is the seed of something. What do I mean? Inside of this watermelon seed, after it opens up, after it goes through process, after it goes through the breaking, because that's a part of it, there's some frustration. There's something on the inside of this seed that is frustrated on the inside of this seed. It's frustrated. The watermelon that eventually one day would grow has to be held within this seed, and it's frustrated. So it has to go through a breaking process. It has to change its environment. Your child and all of your child's genius, and not just your child, but you as well. See, you as a parent have genius potential too. And there's a process. There's a process. See, you and your child are working together to dis, meaning not, cover, meaning conceal. You have a dream that there is a treasure, but you and your child are going on a treasure hunt. This is where genius comes out. Because as you go on this treasure hunt, some things have to change. Some environments have to change. And you start to figure out, oh, that environment just didn't work for the child. I'll give you a brief story. So I have horses. And one day I took the horses and we went to the beach and we were riding along on the beach, and it was so fantastic. And I thought, this is amazing. I'm riding a horse on a beach, right? There's a friend of mine. Her and I, we went out on the beach having a great time. And so while we're riding along on the beach, I'm thinking in my mind, perhaps you've seen these pictures too. I'm thinking about how some people ride out into the water and they're galloping along in the water and it just looks amazing, right? It's amazing. Okay, so I have this in my mind. Say, I'm going to do that too. And so I start, as I'm riding this horse on the beach, I start encouraging my horse down to the water. She's not feeling it. And I'm saying, oh, it's okay. I'm talking to her and I'm encouraging her down to the water. And the waves are crashing and they're making a lot of noise. And I know about horses. I know that they're very skittish by nature. They are prey animals. So basically, the waves to the horses and the water washing up on the shore, that's just a big monster to them. And in her mind, she's thinking, Brian, that's not my environment. That's not the realm in which I thrive. Do you want to know why I know this? Because she wasn't trying to go that way. See, naturally, I was encouraging her in a particular way because I wanted that. See, selfishly, I wanted the moment of riding in the water, right? I wanted the TV moment. So I'm encouraging her to do something that's not natural for her. Her natural mind, her natural abilities, her natural makeup said, that's not where I belong. I'm not really, I don't want to do that. She didn't want to do that. That was my dream. That was not her dream. So now our dreams were in conflict. Sometimes this is what happens with students, sometimes with children and our children. We see what the world is telling us. We see what the educational system is telling us. Your child should be doing this. Your child should be doing that. And we're trying to get them to go that way. We're trying to get this square peg to fit into a round pole. Let's go. Let's go. Let's push them this way. Let's keep on pushing them. And your child is refusing. And here's a word that we use with the horses. Your child is bucking. You ever said that? Like, oh, the child is just bucking. Well, bucking is something that horses do when they have reached a point of having no escape. See, a horse, a prey animal, naturally wants to run forward. Horses are not designed, deer are not necessarily designed, zebras, they're not designed to go backwards. They are designed in their nature to run forward. When something makes them afraid, they run forward. I tell the children that work with the horses, I say, listen, the place you don't want to be is in front, because when they get afraid, they run forward. They're going to get out of the way. They're going to get to a safe place, and then they'll check around to see what happened. Okay. But so often we will try to push and push because we have, if we're being honest as parents, we have this narrative in our mind of what is supposed to be. We see it on social media. We hear it on the news. We've heard it from the school system. Children need to do this. The school system is designed for particular students to excel, not all students to excel. Okay. And so when we look at that, we think there must be something wrong with my child. But I was thinking about this. If I gave you a piece of technology that required, let's say, 4 C batteries. And so I put that in your left hand, but in your right hand, I give you 4 AAA batteries. Is there something now wrong with this machine because these batteries don't get it to work? See, is there something really wrong with your child because what is being fed to them doesn't activate them? That horse, as much as I was encouraging her and move over and it's going to be okay, we got this, she knew that's not my space. And so I want to share something with you, a thought to help you get this in mind. The school system, I believe, is responsible in many ways, and I say this, for drowning lions. In my situation, I was riding a horse, and if I would have ridden that horse out into the ocean, and then if I would have forced her, and if we could have done it, we could have went out way out into the deep. And after a while, she would have drowned. It's not her environment. But I say drowning lions because I think about it like this. If you take a lion that many would say is the king of the jungle, and you take that lion and you put that lion out in the middle of the ocean, the lion, the king of the jungle, in all of its genius and brilliance and majesty, you know what it becomes? Fish food. If you put a lion that is the king of the jungle in the middle of the ocean, that is not its environment where it thrives, it becomes fish food. It becomes consumed by fish. Now, conversely, if you take a great white shark and you take it out of the deep and you bring it up into the shallow end and you put it up on the shore, do you know what it becomes? Bird food. It can be pecked at by the smallest of birds. This great, majestical creature and animal can become bird food. If you take your child and you put your child out into an environment that is not meant for them, they can be pecked, they can be nibbled on, they can be destroyed and consumed by an environment that they were never meant to be in.